Alright, and we're back. So in this video, I just wanted to address what I saw recently. And if you hear any noise in the background, don't mind that. I'm currently in Thailand and there's a lot of dogs and birds around. But let's get straight into it. So I came across this post here not too long ago, and I was reading through just a few tweets on Twitter, or X as it's called now. And this one talks about freelance video editing, and since becoming an editor about a year and a half ago, or at least a freelance video editor, it's been an interesting journey, but I keep finding all these inaccurate, I guess I can't say inaccurate. This particular one is not inaccurate necessarily, but I keep finding all these inaccurate opinions of things. So this one says freelance video editing is simple, but really hard. You need to learn editing software, client acquisition, content creation, motion graphics, After Effects, marketing, design, and sales. Obviously, it's worth it. Everyone should know this by now. That's where everything is going. You need a video editor. And yes, it is true that this is I would say one of the best, if not the best, way to get started in freelancing, or just get started in anything. Freelance video editing is it's a fundamental in this day and age. But what I don't really agree with on this tweet is that you have to learn all of these in order to get your first few clients. This is a fallacy. I'll just blatantly say that. When I first started about a year ago, I was in South Africa. I had pivoted from a social media management agency because I was running an agency for social media management, and I quite frankly didn't care that much about that. Started doing editing videos here and there, and picked up my first client about 6 months after that for $850. So from when I first started to when I got my first client editing videos, it was relatively short. It could have been shorter. I wasn't really serious about it. I was just kind of playing around, messing with Mid-Journey and a few different tools, just really playing around. I was using CapCut and Mid-Journey, just making voiceovers and things and clipping podcasts and just really playing around. And as I am talking about right now, I want to walk you through exactly what I did so we can just kind of debunk this you can't get started kind of thought, or you need to know everything before you get started, because that's an overarching fallacy. Do not ever believe anyone that tells you you need to know everything before you get started. No one knows everything before they get started. And if they do, great. You don't need to. So let's just get straight into it. So the first thing that I did, I hopped over here to, I didn't bring up YouTube yet. Let me go here and bring this up. Now I will say I did all this with a computer that isn't meant to necessarily edit videos. It does take a little bit longer. I think most of you may know when you start to edit videos, video editors out there know, if you edit videos on a computer that doesn't have as much power, it's going to take you double, if not triple, maybe even quadruple the time it would if you had a computer that was quicker. So all that to say, you don't need crazy hardware to get started, though it does change the speed in which you can make stuff. Right. And I always have these little quotes here. I don't like to see things popping up on my feed. So this is all I have here. Let me see. So let's say, as you can see, my computer's moving a little bit slower. I have all my softwares open right now. And this is what I'm referring to about if you have a newer piece of equipment, or something that's better equipped to actually edit videos, it'll move a lot quicker. But you don't need it to get started. So right here, we'll just take this here. click on this podcast. So what you want to do is go to the podcast that you like, or go to any video on YouTube that you like, or whatever you want to do. Take it, copy this link, come over here to, let me make sure I pause this video. Right. So we'll go over here to a tool called Y2. I found this when I was in last year, when I really first started, editing videos. I started in short form. I think everyone should start in short form because it just makes the most sense and it's the simplest, and you can easily just transition into doing all editing, right? It's not even a transition, it's just the same thing, it's just different lengths and a little bit different kind of style depending on what you're doing. So you see this here, it pulls up the video that we were just looking at, and it talks about the host and everything, the video. Okay, we got that. Now there will be ads that pop up on here. Ignore those, just ignore most of them. What you want to do is download it as a MP3 file or an MP4 at the highest quality you can get. Once you download that, now I already have a lot of videos downloaded. I'm not going to download this one. This is just for an example. So you want to click here, download, and it'll pop up down here somewhere in your download. Then what you need to do next is go over to CapCut. Once you're in CapCut, I've already signed in and everything, and CapCut's free unless you want to sign up for the pro version. That gives you a little bit more leeway, a little bit more movement of editing. But I'll go more in detail on all these tools later. For now, I just want to show you what you can do. So once you do that, you download it, you click upload, and you'll be able to upload everything, right? Let me see if I can just snag some kind of video here. I'll do this more in detail later. But what you want to do is just go ahead and grab a video, upload it, and go from there. I guess I can do this here. You just grab one of these. This is an image. You upload all your assets into CapCut, right? And what you can do from there, once you have the video, you can clip it, you can chop it and change different things the way you want it, because I'm sure all of you know about podcast clips. If you're wanting to get started in editing, or you're already doing video editing, or maybe you're not doing any of that, you know what a podcast clip is because you watch them probably daily. All the short form content, that's exactly what, most of that is just podcasts, depending on what you like to watch, of course. Now, with that being said, you'll just want to grab the podcast, and once you have that, you'll find some kind of segment that you want to clip, obviously around 30 to 60 seconds. I'll go more in depth later, but once you do that, you clip it, and then you can start playing around with different edits, right? Just to get better, just to really learn what CapCut does. That's how I got started. I just started toying around with things, adding pictures, adding subtitles, changing the color, changing the size of them, adding transitions and different things. So here, obviously, you can see that there's a picture. There's a lot that goes into editing, and it does become very, very tedious the longer the videos are and the more you have to do. But just for simple podcast clips, it shouldn't take you more than 2 hours. That is being pretty generous as well. Now, if you have a computer that, if you don't have the proper hardware, it may take you 5 hours or more. That is, completely possible. Next, so let's say you have your video in here. You come here to Discord. What you want to do is sign up for Midjourney if you want to pay for Midjourney. I don't believe they have a free version anymore. But you come over here to Midjourney, you create some images, or at least your assets that you want to incorporate into your video to make it a little bit more eye-catching and just make it look better, right? And just toy around with different, videos, different styles, different edits, different transitions, and also just put random stuff into the prompt or into Midjourney. You may not be good at prompting things, but just do it. Put some stuff in, take it. I have a samurai here. Maybe somehow, if someone's talking about something about Japan, throw that into CapCut on your podcast clip and see how it looks. Just play around with things. This is really just an experimental thing to test the waters and see what you'd like to do and really see what kind of style you'd like to head for. Next, if you actually don't want to pay for Midjourney or whatever it may be, come over to Playground AI. It's actually one of my, my go-to spots. Midjourney and Playground AI. Playground AI allows you to refine things and fine-tune them. I'll go more in depth later. But come over here. You can click Create, and you can get straight into it. And it's just like Midjourney. I'd say almost even a little bit better, depending on what you like. But pretty much that's just how I got started. I literally didn't do anything crazy. Of course, I did sign up for an Upwork profile. I went on Upwork. That's a whole nother that's a whole nother thing that I'll dive into. And once you really optimize your profile by, essentially just putting good videos on it, it's really not hard. When I say optimization, all you have to do is make a cover letter that's good and put a video of yourself introducing, like an introductory video, and then put your videos, your good, high quality videos that you've edited, put them on there, and you will get responses very, very quickly. I became a rising talent in about 30 days or less, and that's how I picked up my first client. Very quickly. So, that's just about all I have. I wanted to walk through that real quick because people keep saying a lot of things about, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. You don't need to go through this whole checklist of what? Like almost 10 things. You don't need to do that. As you can see here, this guy asks, do you really need to learn all this to be a good editor? No, you do not. You do not need to know all these things to be a good editor. Yes, if you want to make a solid career and actually know what you're doing, it's advisable to know pretty much most of this. But in this day and age, again, you don't have to know After Effects that much because you have things like Pika Labs that makes AI rendered animations from your from the images you generated in AI Playground or Playground AI, sorry, or Midjourney, right? So you can find ways around, right? So I always go with that quote, where there's a will, there's a way. And quite honestly, you really have to silence the noise that people, of the world, as I like to say. People tell you a whole lot of stuff, and almost 99% of it is inaccurate. I won't say a fallacy, but it is inaccurate. Because they have all their opinions and what they feel is necessary, but really is not. So summing the whole video up, you can get started today on becoming a freelance video editor just by following 5 simple steps. The last step, you need to join a community. You need to join a community of like-minded individuals like, on School, the new platform that people like, as you can see here. Let me see. You can come over here. School. I actually have a community right here where we're helping freelance video editors further their careers or start them just in general. As you can see, it's how to become a freelance video editor. This is where you'll start your journey. How to make, proper stories with Midjourney. and then how to really master Upwork, which it's really not hard. At first, when I started, it was, tedious. But then I figured out how to make it work, and it's a breeze. It's really not hard. Yeah, really, what ties all the four steps together. One, picking what kind of videos you want to edit, and downloading that video, and then testing that, the different edits you want to make on it, just messing around with it, just really playing with the edits in CapCut, getting used to CapCut. And then for generating images, throwing those in there, seeing what it looks like, just having fun really. And then the fifth one, obviously, community. That's what ties all these in, because there's other people doing the same exact thing as you, experimenting, uploading their work into the community, seeing how how people act to it, how they, what the feedback is. It really just helps you learn and really crowdsource growth, which sounds ironic and odd, but you can crowdsource growth. And I'd say when you stand united, or when you're united, I don't want to sound cliche, but when you're united as essentially a group, everyone seems to get further a lot quicker, because everybody's crowdsourcing information. Someone tests something, it doesn't work, they go back to the drawing board, reiterate, they iterate on it, and then they bring it back in the community and say, hey, this thing didn't actually work, but this did, and I did it this way. And then someone else does that, and, so on and so forth. I don't want to draw this out too long. That's all I have for you today. Over and out.